Hi, my name is Georgi, and I'm doing Monday and Friday an overview of the Estonian newspaper Postimees. So let's start. Today I also baked bread, Estonian bread. We'll make a separate video about that. Let's see how it goes. So, with the newspaper, first page. There was an musical awards, Estonian music awards. So a lot of awards got one band called Trad Attack. I think it's internationally known too. Trad Attack won a lot of awards. The Minister of the Security or the War Minister, or how you call it, from the so the Minister of Defense got interviewed yesterday. So we will stop on that too in more details. And next news on the main page was that Kelly Sildaru, who is Estonian extreme sportswoman, she is going to try to get some medals in X Games. So she's doing skiing, extreme skiing, and snowboarding. So that's interesting. So let's go to the page number 2. Another scandal that the member of the boards of or in the ministry person got vaccinated. She somehow jumped the queue. So this is kind of common, but she apologizes. So we have 2-3 people. Also, the Russian consul in Narva also got vaccinated ahead of everyone. An elderly guy. So now they're going to investigate how these kind of things are possible in Estonia. So very important news that from the new week, or starting from Monday, there will be changes in the restrictions regarding COVID. So restaurants can be open again 50% until in a 50% capacity, and open until 9 o'clock. Before, this restriction was kind of stupid because they could be open only until 7, but obviously most of people, they finish work at 6, so nobody's going for 1 hour to the restaurant. That's obviously clear. Open air concerts and kind of venues can be conducted up to 500 people. Also, there is not going to be any regional restrictions because until now there were much harsher regional restrictions for Tallinn and Harjumaa, but they saw that this is ineffective because then people from Tallinn, they just went to the closest city, for example, to go to a concert or to cinema or to go to have sports for example, to go to the gym. They went to, because the distances in Estonia are quite small. So from Tallinn you drive 40 minutes and you are outside Harjumaa already. So spas and kind of water-related facilities are now also allowed to be open and without restrictions, because actually there isn't any proven case of COVID in a spa, but the former government impose those kind of restrictions. So people can go to sports, that's important, and also they can have some education, or for example classes. If you want to study something, then these venues are also allowed to function. Big ad on page number 3. Another important thing, that Estonia gained a place in the corruption perception index, which means the corruption, people perceive it as a less corrupt country than before. Before it was on the 18th spot, and now together with Ireland it is on the spot number 17. So corruption perception index, for comparison, Russia is on number 137, spot number 137, and China is number 80. So Estonia is much better. It is not a corrupt place. So another news, 9.6 million cigarettes were destroyed. This is how you call it, secret cigarettes, or cigarettes who are brought without paying the taxes. 9.6 million. Good job. Also there is a big article about a monument to Joala, which people don't think it's very beautiful, and there are discussions should they remove it or not. So there is an article, and you see, and this also has sparked another doing of monuments for other musicians. So let's see how it goes. Kind of corruption article about in Valga, but it does not seem to be interesting. Also, I find very interesting article of the Defense Ministry. Kalle Laanet. So you see, it's like a full-page article. So what did I find here interesting? On the questions, do you plan of improving the relations with Russia? And he answers that today's security situation is quite clear from where the danger comes to Estonia. So he does not see any ways to increase cooperation with Russia on the defense front, which is kind of obvious. If the main threat is coming from Russia, how can you improve the relations in the defense sector? You don't want to give your secrets. And I think I will make a special in-depth look into the defense situation in Estonia and how likely it is a NATO member to be threatened by another country, namely Russia. Spoiler alert, the chances are not zero. I think they're much higher. So, and another question which the defense minister Kalle Laanet answered, that do you think that in Estonian schools you have to teach like defense-related topics more? He thinks that until now it is voluntary, but to have better results it might be a good idea to discuss with Minister of the Education, maybe to have something mandatory. So these points are really important because political risk in Estonia is quite clear. Article about Russian sculptures, which also some kind of ugly sculptures in Russia. What do you think? Alyonka, Peter the Great, Mikhail Kalashnikov. Those are the sculptures which Russians don't think it's the best idea. So the economic pages number 12, about the GameStop shares, that this is the international shares which were like sold short, and is that kind of thing possible also in Estonia? And the article writes that in the Estonian shares selling platform Tallinn OMX or something like that, it is not possible to short sell any shares. But since the volume of the shares is low in Estonia, you can manipulate also share prices quite easily. Even smaller volumes can change the share price. On number 13, there is an article about Joala beer factory, that it was sold to a Finnish company. It was before that was owned by a Danish company. So Pyynikin Brewing Company has bought Joala Beer Company in Estonia. So this is important. So there are some articles about teaching of Estonian on page number 15. Article about teaching Estonian language to Russian speaking population, which is quite important to have Russian people integrated in the Estonian society. Let me just read it, I'll come back to you. So this article is about how in Kehra, in a small Estonian city or a small place, I don't know, that there is language immersion classes since 2013, where, for example, Russian-speaking kids were put in Estonian schools, so they were teaching all the different chemistry and everything they were teaching even to them in Estonian language. So at first they were worried that they wouldn't understand anything, so they would be bad also not only in Estonian but in chemistry and mathematics. But obviously this thing is so sorry about that. The battery was empty, the camera battery was empty, so that's why it cut off. So the immersion, the language learning by immersion is a good idea and it works in Estonia. One more article about which is critical about the new coalition, which is cancelling the Minister of Population because nobody understands. Kaja Kallas is saying that why keep a ministry post where nobody understands what are the minister's duties. And here they come to criticize that decision because Estonian population or Estonians are in numbers are diminishing. Until now it has increased in Tallinn or in Estonia because people from foreign countries have arrived due to immigration, but the numbers of Estonians or people born in Estonia, they are decreasing. So that's a bad trend, and this Avo Rein Tereping is seeing that it's important. That's why this kind of population ministry should be in Estonia. So there is a big article about the local governments and the taxes, how are taxes distributed in the local governments. So you can see that you see the most important areas are obviously Tallinn, bigger cities. It's called tõmbekeskus, so some centers which are bringing people to those places. These are Tallinn, Pärnu and Tartu. It is quite detailed article about how the taxes should be distributed. Maybe we need to look in depth someday about this situation in Estonia. Here is this page of the Estonian Music Awards. Let me just show it to you. So Nublu and Trad Attack. Maybe I'll post some links of those artists at the end, so you can take a look for yourself. And that was it for today. I'll be doing that news coverage maybe 2 times a week, Monday and Friday. So subscribe, like this video, and we'll do more of the same content on Monday. See you.